Hello and welcome to the Everything is Black and White podcast. Hope you guys are doing well. Andrew Musgrove here. Please do give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and consider sharing this amongst your Newcastle United supporting friends and family. If you hit that subscribe button, it's totally free to do so. It just means with every new bit of content we upload, you will get a notification to say it's ready for you to watch. It allows us to grow our audience, allows us to keep doing this for free. We really enjoy bringing you these videos, and I hope you enjoy the content that we are producing. Now, this video is going to be one of joy and one of happiness and one of a reminder that there are good people in the world. Because right now, for some, when you talk about Newcastle United, there are dark clouds forming over St James's Park. Not for everyone, but for some. You know, they picked up 10 points from their first possible 15, but there were issues and concerns about each one of those opening 4 games in which they did go unbeaten. You know, big issues that Eddie Howe has to solve ahead of the visit of Manchester City, and that's not going to be an easy task because they went down to Craven Cottage with a chance of going top of the Premier League, and Newcastle's luck being Newcastle's luck. They got beat 3-1, and they were pretty abysmal, especially that first half. And one thing is for certain, if you play that way against Manchester City, as they did in the opening 45 against Fulham, it could be a cricket score before the interval, before the halftime whistle even sounds on Saturday. But look, we'll talk about that later in the show because, as I said there, this is going to be a joyful video. It's going to be a happy video. There are good people in the world. The footballing world is united, and it leaves a nice feeling, a warm feeling, when you understand what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about AFC Wimbledon. Newcastle United were meant to be travelling there today to play in the League Cup. Would have been a good chance to rid the memory of the performance against Fulham. It would have been a good chance, had they won, to build momentum ahead of the visit of Manchester City. But you've seen the pictures, you've seen the video, the pitch down at Plough Lane, totally unplayable. And it will be unplayable, you would think, for AFC Wimbledon for many weeks, if not months to come. A sinkhole has formed on the pitch due to torrential rain, due to flooding, and what a mess it is. And thankfully, the game has been rearranged and the two teams will play next Tuesday the 1st of October, up at St James's Park in a 7:45 p.m. kickoff. Now, both teams will get 45% of gate receipts, which will mean, a higher pace for AFC Wimbledon. So there's a silver lining to that. And if they manage to beat Newcastle United, they get an extra 10%. But fingers crossed they don't, because we want a cup run here. And yes, it has to come at the expense of Wimbledon, but we definitely want a cup run. But what has happened over the last 24 hours or so is a crowdfunding page has been launched and the donations have just flooded in. Sorry, excuse the pun. Didn't mean to do that intentionally. But people have donated money, and it is great to see not just AFC Wimbledon fans, not just Newcastle United fans, but fans of clubs up and down the country. It fills you with joy that the footballing world has united. And every so often we see this, don't we? It's a reminder that football has no boundaries. It has no colours, really, when it gets down to things that really matter. And it just fills your heart when you see so many supporters of different clubs chucking in a fiver, chucking in a tenner, some chucking in hundreds of pounds to help AFC Wimbledon with the cost of repairing their pitch. Because you've got to remember, AFC Wimbledon is led by the Dons Trust. It is fan-led. They haven't got the pockets that some clubs around them in League Two and League One have got. They haven't got the pockets, of course, of Championship teams and, of course, not of Premier League teams. So it's great to see so many fans helping them out when it comes to the cost of repairing this pitch, because it'll not be cheap. It's going to be time-consuming, but it's certainly not going to be cheap as well to fix it. You're going to be investigative work to find out what really has gone on underneath. There's going to be a load of work before you even talk about repairing the pitch and laying the turf down to allow games to be played there. Now, in an interview with the BBC, the managing director at AFC Wimbledon has revealed that 100,000 litres has been pumped out. 100,000 litres of water has been pumped out of the stadium so far. Someone at the BBC has done the hard work, the hard graft when it comes to investigative journalism, and they've done the maths. And they say with a running tap estimated to use 9 litres a minute, 100 litres is the equivalent of a tap being left on continuously for around a week. So that shows you how much water got into that stadium, how much water got onto that pitch, and you can maybe now understand exactly why the pitch has collapsed. Now, as a fan-led, fan-run club, there was probably two initial thoughts when they first saw the pictures of the pitch. Goodness me, what has happened? And then how on earth are we going to be able to repair this pitch? And that is where just the joy comes that so many fans have put their hands in the pocket, and now the fear maybe isn't as bad as it once was. This crowdfunding that was set up had an initial target of 10,000. When that was surpassed, it went up to, I think it was 20,000. It went up to, sorry, 25,000. And then when it went past that, it went up to 50,000. They've now upped it to 100,000. At the time of recording, £56,000 has been raised, which is absolutely fantastic. And I say it's come from all corners of the country, probably even all corners of the globe. It's just wonderful to see. And Newcastle United have chucked in £15,000 as well. They didn't need to do that, but they have done. What a fantastic gesture from Newcastle United. They have really helped out AFC Wimbledon's cause to get this pitch back up and running as soon as possible. I mean, Mr. Woodruff has said that he hopes to be able to play the game against Carlisle United on Saturday, the 12th of October. He says their real intention to fulfill that fixture. I think that's a little bit optimistic looking at the pictures that we've seen, but I'm no expert. But the money that has been raised, the 15,000 from Newcastle United, in fact, at the time of recording, in that time that we started it, it's actually gone up already by £1,000, by £2,000 actually. It's now at £58,126. It's amazing, absolutely amazing that this just keeps going up and up and up. And we've got some comments here that I've taken from the fundraising page from Newcastle United fans, which shows you just, the wonderfulness when the footballing world pulls together. Lifelong Newcastle United fan living in SW12, which is the postcode around the stadium, been to the new Plough Lane to watch the Wombats recently. Great ground, great club. Hope their fans get a great reception at St James's Park. David wrote, Newcastle United supporter who was looking forward to attending the game tonight. Best of luck repairing the pitch. I hope the Wimbledon supporters can come to Newcastle United next Tuesday for a game with ours. Leon wrote, brilliant cause and hope everyone travelling up for the rearranged game at St James Park has a great night next week. Good luck with getting your games back on there as soon as possible. And James wrote, from a Newcastle United supporter, sorry to see the damage. Hopefully the funds from the game at St James Park will help as well. And as mentioned there, 45% is the least they will get from the gate receipts. But you've got Norwich fans donating, Exeter fans donating, fans of just all clubs getting their hands in the money. Liverpool fan there says every little counts. Hope you reach your target and get it sorted. We have Everton fans. We've got a Leicester fan. We've got a Swedish fan in Hong Kong. Sarah wrote, happy to pitch in and looking forward to see you coming to visit us at St James's Park. It is just unbelievable the distance that this Just Giving page has reached. This crowdfunding page has reached. Unbelievable. So brilliant to see, and hopefully they can get the pitch repaired because they've started really well. Heavy FC Wimbledon, they're 5th in League Two, and they will probably had hopes of, them hopes of achieving promotion will still be there. They've gone unbeaten in the last 4 as well, won 4 out of 6. They've started the season really well, and this will be a massive, massive blow to them. But they seem to have addressed it positively, not letting themselves get down the dumps about it, just being proactive about it. And Mr. Woodruff added, it typifies the spirit of this football club. This relentless resilience and community spirit is extraordinary. Time after time, this football club has defied the naysayers. We have another obstacle in our path, and I've no doubt we'll be back. And I'm hopeful it's sooner rather than later. And he said, we're really thankful for all the support when asked about Newcastle United pledging £15,000 to the tally. So there we go. Absolutely fantastic. Let me know if you've donated. Let me know why you've donated. Why have you stuck your hand in your pocket? Anything from a £5 all the way up to thousands of pounds being raised. And it really is fantastic to see. I did say we'd briefly just talk about the issues Eddie Howe has got to sort ahead of that game against Manchester City. I still maintain that he would have wanted this game to go ahead if it was possible. Because I think it allows you to build momentum ahead of Manchester City. It allows you to rid, as I said, the memories of Saturday's performance against Fulham. But then some would say, well, actually, he probably wants that clear run at Manchester City. He doesn't want the distraction of a cup when he can spend 5 whole days just working on the game plan of how to get the better of Pep Guardiola's men. he's had a lot of time on the training pitch so far. We were all talking before the season kicked off about how no European football is a blessing. You're not playing midweek, and then playing on the weekend. It hasn't clicked so far. It's going to be interesting because it's all going to be about the team sheet. Is Sandro Tonali going to come? Is there going to be a formation change? What is the game plan? How do you get the better of Man City? If you know that question, I'm sure Eddie Howe would love to speak to you, because not many clubs do know the answer to that question. I don't know what the answer is. Is it a formation change? Are you going to see Newcastle potentially go 5 at the back? I don't think so. I think you'll see him set up in the same formation, 4-3-3, even though I do think it's probably had its time. I think Newcastle United have shown they get woefully exposed now with that formation, but I can't see how making a big change. So it's all about the personnel. It's all about finding that spark that's been lacking. And they've shown that when they go up against big teams, especially Manchester City, that they do raise their levels. I mean, the last few times Man City visited here, they've been very lucky to go away with victories. Of course, it was a last-minute winner, wasn't it? Oscar Bob came off the bench to get the win, and then we've obviously remember that draw they had on a lovely sunny afternoon. I think it was in August a couple of seasons back when Kieran Trippier put Newcastle 3-1 up, and I think the game ended 3-3, I'm not mistaken. And they're also, they've lost here before as well under Rafa Benitez. And they don't like coming here, and with the crowd behind Newcastle United, the 12th man cliche is there, and hopefully everyone is behind the players on Saturday. But the crowd can only do so much. Eddie Howe has to find the solution. He has to find the remedy to the issues that have been there. Can he do it? It's not the team. It's not the club that you'd want to face when things haven't gone particularly well. But look, they are at home. Newcastle at home are a different beast, and fingers crossed they can get the better of Manchester City. And yeah, Eddie Howe will be making the most of this game being called off, but I still think he would have loved the game to have gone ahead and built a bit of momentum. Let me know what you think in the comments about, like we say, the donations to AFC Wimbledon, the donation of Newcastle United. Absolutely fantastic to see. And what will Eddie Howe be working on the pitch, the training pitch this week? What are the big issues he has to solve? We've got a podcast coming tomorrow with Simon Bird where we focus on Anthony Gordon, the body language of him and the body language of some of the other players, and try and find out what the solution is really. What can Eddie Howe do? Not just this week leading up to the game against Man City, but in the weeks coming up as well. And we'll have the match preview with John Gibson and the view from the opposition as well coming up. But in the meantime, enjoy your Tuesday night. No Newcastle United in the League Cup. You have to wait a week for that at St James Park. Let me know, have you entered the ballot? Are you going to go? It'll be a wonderful experience, I think, for AFC Wimbledon to come up, see Newcastle United under the lights, get a bit of money in the pocket to help fix that pitch. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hit the thumbs up button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys.